Let's think about this for a moment. Now let's talk about the formula at the top, because that's a little easier to think about. You might take these notes on the next page. We're thinking about, let's think a little more about what we've learned. So Tyson, let's talk about fixed costs. If we increase fixed costs, what will be the effect upon break even? If we increase, so make notes of this. If we increase fixed costs, what is the effect on break even? Tyson, if we increase fixed costs, what will be the effect on break even? Up or down?
Up.
Exactly right. And notice that's just a mathematical thing. If the numerator gets bigger, what happens to the answer? It gets bigger. Okay? Very good. How about, Seth, this will be just a smidgen harder. How about selling price per unit? So this is the second variable we've talked about. The first variable we talked about was fixed costs. The second variable we're going to talk about is selling price per unit, SPU. If SPU goes up, what happens to break even in units? It goes down. Where is selling price per unit, Rabina, in the calculation of break even in units? Where does selling price per unit appear? Where's selling price per unit? How do we... CMU. But follow the arrow backwards.
Yeah, underneath.
Underneath, yep. Yeah. It's selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit equals contribution margin per unit. So what happens, so if selling price per unit goes up, what happens to the denominator? Does it get bigger or smaller? The denominator, the number on the bottom below the line, becomes bigger, right? And then break even in units becomes smaller. Exactly right. Exactly right. But I just want you to understand all the steps. All the steps, okay? Tony, vote. Hey. Variable cost per unit, the third variable that we're going to talk about, variable cost per unit. If that increases, what will be the effect upon break even?
Increases. Increase.
Exactly right, because contribution margin per unit will decrease, so the denominator will get smaller, and break even in units will become bigger. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? Yes, ma'am. If variable cost per unit increases, the denominator decreases, gets smaller, and then break even in units becomes larger. And if it's confusing to you, what do you have to do on a test? All you have to do on a test is make up some numbers, calculate break even, and then mathematically make the change. You know, if it's an increase in fixed cost, just increase fixed cost by some random amount, redo the math, and then you have the numbers right in front of you. You can see what it does. You can answer that question without even thinking about it. You just do two calculations and poof, you've got it done. Okay? So far, so good? Okay. We got 15 minutes. I think I've got 15 more minutes of stuff for you. Do I give you the notes? Turn them to the next page. No, I don't.
No, that was an increase in VCU, right?
Yes, it was.
I thought you said variable costs at first, so I wanted to make sure.
Well, variable cost per unit. Okay. Variable cost per unit. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to do margin of safety. Margin of safety. Conceptually, margin of safety is defined as how much can a company mess up before profit disappears. I mean, more formally, how much can revenue fall before profit disappears? How much can a company mess up before profit disappears? Okay? margin of safety in dollars equals actual revenue minus break-even revenue. That's how you mathematically calculate it. Margin of safety in dollars is actual revenue minus break-even revenue. Margin of safety ratio equals actual revenue minus break-even revenue divided by actual revenue. Okay? So margin of safety in dollar, actual revenue minus break-even revenue. So that's how much can revenue fall before break-even is achieved. Margin of safety ratio is how actual revenue minus break-even revenue over actual revenue. And for this ratio, big is good. Because ratios, some ratios you want them to be big, some ratios you want them to be small. This particular ratio, big is good. Okay? Big is good. Do you have that written down? Big is good? Go for it. Dr. Fess are so picky. So what did I just write on the board? NIPT. NIPT equals NIT over 1 minus tax rate. Sir?
Net income before tax equals net income after tax divided by
1 minus the tax rate. That is correct. What's another word for net income before taxes? Operating income. Okay, operating income. So now, in the break-even formula, that operating income that appears in the break-even formula, is it before tax or after tax? Before tax. Okay, it's before tax. And now, with this formula, we have the ability, you know, if the problem says they desire an after-tax profit of $50,000, you can convert that to a before-tax number, slap it into that break-even formula, and voila, you can do the math. If you're not yawning. Whew. How are we doing? Questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? How are we doing? Awesome? Awesome? Yes, ma'am. Please, please, please.
So the margin of safety ratio is the one that you always want to be big. I mean, it's good, that it's good.
Correct.
MSR?
Yes, MSR. Correct, correct. Class at break-even net income is? Zero. That wasn't as good. Class at break-even net income is? Zero. Have a good weekend.